We're gonna see if it all works. I bought a Wi-Fi extender. I set it up. I moved it around when it didn't quite work in the first location. We're gonna see if it works now. We're gonna see what the connection looks like. So I'm actually gonna look at my channel here, see how bad it looks. No, it doesn't look bad at all. Okay, cool. Well, as long as it doesn't get rained on, then we should be good. Which I don't think it will. I think where I set it is a dry enough spot. Probably not going to stream for long tonight since it's so late already. Most, I might do an hour. But we'll have some conversation. Mostly wanted to test the setup and see how well it would work. But we do have some stuff we can talk about tonight. House GOP leaders canceled a vote on a war powers resolution, that a move which has been gaining support amongst Republicans in recent weeks. They were pretty sure they were going to lose that vote, which is why they canceled it, due to the sheer number of absences on the Republican side. Which I think speaks well to the argument leftists, myself included, have been making for a while. This is an incredibly unpopular war among the average American and even some people that maybe aren't representative of the average American. It's just not popular. Hey, Phoebe late stream, huh? Indeed, King Bugs, latest stream of them all. Yeah, I was just telling the people I'm probably not going to be staying on here that late tonight because it's so late already. I mostly wanted to test and see if the little Wi-Fi extendy box thing I bought is going to enable me to stream with the iPhone without using the hotspot. And if it works out, if it works good, then that'll be cool. So yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me know if the connection drops or anything like that so I can stay abridged. But yeah. What do you guys think about House GOP leaders canceling the vote on a war powers resolution that would have possibly limited Trump's ability to engage in this foreign war? I think it's a predictable move of cowardice that I think it's a predictable and cowardly move by the Republicans to, not the Republicans as a whole, but by Republican leaders and people that are in the Trumposphere to continue to prolong this conflict according to his wishes. But I don't know how long they can keep that going. Like, at what point does the do the other members of the government start introducing some kind of slapdash measure to get around that and to introduce limitations anyway? How do you feel about the coming global famine? I feel like people really need to be buying seeds, like buying heirloom seeds, and finding an area where they can grow their own food or where they and their neighbors can grow their own food. Like, I'm not even kidding. Because if you can start up like a little compost program for your entire apartment complex and you can get 30% of the people on board with that and help you do that shit, dude, times are getting very near when Americans are going to have to start looking at our world a lot more like we looked at it back in World War II. The idea of the victory garden is about to become much more relevant. It's going to become relevant again, and I think that people should get started sooner rather than later. I got tomatoes, radishes, onions, and peppers down this year. That's good. That's good. That's some basic caloric content. If the food supply should run out, if the grocery store should run low, if you can't get your basics, at least you've got something to eat. There's things that you can store bulk that are good to get a hold of if you can as well, like salt. is one of those things that, like, even if it gets wet, as long as it doesn't get, like, mildewed or something like that, as long as it doesn't get like, salt is usually not the type of thing that anything can grow on or fester in, so as long as it's not in particular conditions, usually, even if salt gets wet, you can just dry it out and then use it for its original intended purpose. Howdy from Detroit Feed. Weed grows, great bin compost, and dirty dishwater. Real thought. Yeah, I don't know about that. I guess it would depend on what you're washing the dishes in, right? I wouldn't want to like try growing cannabis in dishwater that was being used with regular Dawn, but maybe. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what's in Dawn and how well that would work or not work with the other chemicals present in the compost and with the seedlings. What I do know is that composting is a lot easier than you might think. It basically just involves having a little spot outside that you can regularly water and add food scraps to. And it's something like you can put all of the leaves you rake up or any of the grass that gets mowed, you rake that up and put on there. And through that process, year over year, you can build soil. And with that, you can continuously create your own fertilizer that is not subject to the um, market fluctuations that commercial fertilizer is. Thank you, King Bugs, for the $5. I appreciate that a ton. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. King Bugs with the $5. But yeah, radishes are good. I'm not the biggest fan of radishes, but they're all right. The night is young and my day was long. I feel that 100%, Matt. My day was also pretty long, and the night is still somewhat young. Although I can't let my night be too young because I will have to get to bed at some point here in the next hour, probably. You look lovely tonight, Phoebe. Thank you. I appreciate that. My cousin Kelly was wash her down the mountainside. Oh no, that's weird. Do you cook radishes? I think you can. I think you can cook them, but I think you can also eat them raw. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I do have a treat, though, for anybody that wants to join me. You male or female? I'm a woman. Nobody like judges other people on the basis of what they actually have between their legs. It's all a synthesis of what you expect them to have between their legs based on what they dress like and how they sound and how they move and all this. Gender is an incredibly complicated thing. Sex, less so, but still pretty complicated. Damn, girl, you better pass that. Okay, King Bugs. There you go, buddy. No, you not. Compelling argument. Compelling argument, I grant you. But I'll have to let it slide. Anyway, I was talking about this earlier, but I'm going to go over it again. Um, the House was getting ready to introduce and vote on another one of these war powers resolutions that would have limited Trump and the Trump administration's ability to conduct their aggressive, needless war against a country that didn't attack us, namely Iran. And GOP leaders decided to nix that. They decided to cancel the vote completely because they were so worried that they weren't going to win the vote due to the amount of just the sheer amount of absences on the Republican side. As it turns out, disappointment, distrust, and disagreement with this war has been spreading, not just amongst lefties like myself, but among average Republicans. Some of them have been ardent MAGA supporters throughout the years, but slowly but surely, as the gas prices creep up, and the fertilizer costs just a bit more, people are starting to get the picture. Nonetheless, GOP leaders, having nothing but contempt for your stupid, wretched asses, have decided to nix that war powers resolution that might have gotten gas prices back down, might have normalized relations with Iran for long enough for us to figure out some kind of alternative plan of action, might have brought you some relief, but no, they don't have anything but contempt for you. What do you think happens after death? Not much, far as I'm concerned. Phoebe, have you ever smoked salvia? No. Why are you smoking a white owl with no weed in it? The fact that you think this ain't got weed in it means that I rolled a thickie. A thickie. I'm just waiting for some interesting comments. I'll take a blinker for Phoebe. Yeah, somebody's gonna have to because I don't have any electronic weed on me. Like super intense but short lived. Yeah. No, I've heard people talk about what salvia is like, and it doesn't sound like an experience that is particularly enthralling to me. It sounds, quite frankly, it sounds terrifying. And most of the stories I've heard of people doing it involve them doing things that were dangerous to themselves or others. So it just doesn't seem like my kind of drug, man. I feel like if I want a trip and have an intense trip, I should probably just take 2 or 3 tabs of acid and do it somewhere safe and chill. And I'll probably have a lot more chill time. And it'll probably have a lot more peaks that I can get enjoyment out of. It's certainly going to last a hell of a lot longer, that's for sure. Are you a woman? Yes. You look like a widow from Manifest Destiny days. How do you know I ain't, honey? You know, eventually they invent time travel. Which is smoking. I think this is called headband. Thanks to Obama, you get this. Dude, the idea that the Obama administration invented trans people is perhaps the silliest conspiracy theory as to our origins that I have yet seen on the internet. That is wild. Obama didn't even talk about trans people. He maybe brought us up like what, 3 times in his entire presidency? My friend, you are delusional to a degree that is kind of, I'm not gonna laugh, it's pretty funny. Thank you, King Bugs, for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate that a ton. By the way, if you're liking the stream, well, hit the like button. You know, double tap that screen or hit the button itself if you've got it. I appreciate it a ton, and it helps the stream out immensely. Also, feel free to donate the way King Bugs just did with gifted memberships or super chats or Cash App that's pinned. Either way, I appreciate it a lot. It helps the channel, and I thank you. Jesus, Jesus Christ, Christ Jesus, Jesus Christ, Jesus, right? When are you gonna get the picture that my atheist ass with 2 different fucking pinnacles probably does not want to sit here and listen to you evangelize all day? When are you gonna get the pic? You ever heard the phrase barking up the wrong tree? Just wondering. You ever heard the phrase barking up the wrong tree? If I don't know 500, will you quit smoking? No. This the devil in the flesh, guys? Thank you. I don't normally think of myself as being all that cool, but I appreciate it. I'm glad my Luciferian charm is shining through, even in this vestige. Phoebe, can I get a green name? Yeah, if you sign up for the membership, it's cheap too. It's not expensive. It's like $2, $2 or $3. Simple way to support my channel in a recurrent way, means a ton. You get some cool perks. You get your name mentioned and read more often in chat. I notice your messages more. But it's also cool because here pretty soon I'm going to be adding some custom emojis. Do you use female toilets? So I will use a women's room if it's like a single person bathroom, but I will also use a men's room if it's a single person bathroom. It just depends on, like, if the women's room is occupied, then I'll just go to the men's. Whatever. If it's two single person bathrooms, it doesn't really matter that much. In a public bathroom with multiple stalls and stuff, I'm usually just gonna hold it unless I can't help it, in which case I'll like take the men's room and choose the like farthest away stall from the door and try and plan my journey in and out on the basis of the fewest number of people being in there. Sucks, but that's kind of what you have to do to fend for your own safety as a trans woman these days. I don't have cyber money, Phoebe. How can I get down? I really dig your opinion. How can you get down? I don't know what you mean. You don't have cyber money. See, that's weird. To think about people that don't have like a digital wallet in 2026. I'm sure there's still plenty out there, but it's admittedly difficult for my Zoomer ass to comprehend. $20 from the wonderful, illustrious King Bugs. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. Down with a sub? Well, I want you to have a sub as well, but I can't give you one. Like the creator can't give subs out. Only people that buy subs can give subs out. What is a digital wallet? I have Chime. Chime is a digital wallet. Are you lesbian? I don't self-identify with the lesbian label myself. I am primarily attracted to women, but I am also somewhat attracted to men, and I feel like as a result, it would be kind of inappropriate for me to take that label on. Do you care about the offensive comments? Well, if I did, I'd probably be running the chat a little bit differently now, wouldn't I? If I was really worried about them. That's the thing that I think people who constantly talk about how bothered I must be by the hate comments and um, how terrible it must be, all this. I feel like a lot of people fail to realize that I have complete control over this chat. I am the one who determines what it is, what's said in here, the limits of the discourse, and I choose to make it a unique place on YouTube where there are lots of different opinions, many of them corrosive, being juxtaposed against one another, where an actual dialectic happens. This is the last place on YouTube where an actual dialectic happens between the person streaming and the people watching. Last place on YouTube. Right here. I already answered your question, Mr. Perspective. Stop being a bot. I love how I can hear the gentle pattering of the rain. That's awesome. Homelander go. Why? Who? What the? Huh? I keep seeing all these Homelander references in my chat, and I've never watched Homelander, so I've got no point of reference for anything going on. Is that weed I'm a bud tender on night shift right now? Indeed. Phoebe, this isn't hate, but are you allowed to use female stalls? Yes. There's literally like no law in the book preventing trans women from using the bathroom that aligns with their with their gender identity. Uh, Unless like there's a few specific states where there are at this point some bathroom bills that have been passed, but it's not a national thing and it depends heavily on the state. But in most of the 50 states of the United States of America, a trans woman can, in fact, use the bathroom that aligns with the gender she actually lives as and identifies with. The bell and chimed on ring 29 times in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. Okay, now how long have we been on? Because I kept checking. Deja vu. This feels so much like last night. Tonight we haven't been on long because I had to get some upgrades. You'll notice I'm back on the iPhone, or maybe didn't notice or whatever. But I bought a Wi-Fi range extender because I finally got paid, and I think that may have fixed my issues. I'm just gonna have to make sure I take care of it. So hard to mod while having a ciggy and sipping a whiskey. Ah, don't worry about it, King Bugs. The main reason you've got the mod chip, King, is just so that I see you when you're in chat, so that you don't get banned, you know? I never know. I'm always suspicious because of my YouTube. I'm always suspicious that YouTube is gonna decide to like randomly stop showing my stuff to other people, but so far that hasn't happened. Were you male or female before being trans? Well, I'm a trans woman, so if you look up the definition of trans woman, that will give you your answer. Did you just hit a blunt? I just scrolled in. I did. The stream has been really smooth, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm thinking I might have actually made a really good decision with that Wi-Fi extender. I'm just like I said, I'm gonna have to take real good care of it. I'm gonna have to make sure I bring it back in whenever I'm done using it for the night. You love in England, bro? I do like England quite a bit. Wonderful people, the most yellow of teeth, the most wonderful tea in the world. Damn it. I can't do a good British accent anymore. It irrevocably turns Australian. I'm gonna have to like go through and really pay attention. I need to just like pay attention now that I've listened to God is Not Great a few times. Now I need to listen to it again, but keep the accent inflections in mind and just make my British accent like a higher pitched version of Christopher Hitchens' accent. Because from my understanding, he had a pretty refined British accent that is understandable and intelligible while also sounding pretty high class. So. Seems like he might be a good one for me to do the vocal profile based on. Well, yeah, I'm saying it was a really dog shit English accent, but that's because I feel like it was lilting a little bit into the Australian thing, meaning it didn't really sound like a good approximation of either. I'm capable of self criticism, despite what my haters will tell you. You like the OG Halo games? I was a Nintendo kid. My whole childhood and teenage years, I was a Nintendo kid, so I never got to enjoy really any of the early Halo games at the height of their like success and cultural domination. I got to play a few of them a few years later, and I feel like I didn't quite get the same experience as everybody else did because by the time I got to play those OG Halo games, I'd played games that were inspired by those OG Halo games that had taken lessons from those games. No, it was a shit British accent, not Aussie one, but read it and understand before answering. Alright. Alright, bro. I'm sorry I offended you so deeply. Don't worry, I'll vote for the UK appropriations package next time it comes up. Don't worry, my government's still gonna vote for the fucking Aussie appropriations package whenever that comes up. Matt said, um, the stream is fucking up just a little here and there. Are you sure water is not getting on it? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Suppose I could go check real quick. Has it been doing that the whole time? No, just here and there, yeah, but like, has that just started in the last 10 minutes? Because we've been going for 30 minutes. I'll say this much, nothing else in the vicinity where I plugged it is dry. Recent? Okay. Well, I suppose I better go check it, just, in the interest of thoroughness. Oh, I wish it. Well, I'm glad it's raining, but at this point, I kind of wish it would chill out with the rain. Yeah, it definitely should not be getting wet because it's not really raining hard at this point. It's kind of dribbling. Alrighty. Well, I checked the extender and it's completely bone dry, so definitely not that. Oh, to whatever degree the signal is dropping, it's not because of the rain. Let me just restart the app. That's awesome, though. $80 well spent. And you know what? You know what's weird? I gotta say something too. Manufacturing is a different world than it used to be. I feel like I've been faced with the reality of this recently. I used to think about it like this. It's pretty much dog shit if it's not made in the US, Canada, or Western Europe. Maybe that was chauvinistic of me, but that's what I believed for a long time. The router I'm using right now was built in Japan or China, or Taiwan, one of the three, and it's like the extender I'm using. It's heavy. Like it's not big, but it's got weight to it. I can look at the plastic shell and the vents on it and see how thick the plastic is. The, the like prongs and stuff where it plugs into the wall look like they're really thick steel and stuff. It's just like I was kind of like laughing to myself about how this feels solid in a way I don't remember electronics feeling as recently as 10 years ago, as recently as 5 or 6 years ago. And I feel like a lot of the countries that we used to give a lot of shit for making stuff that didn't last are now actually starting to make some stuff that, I don't know, man, seems like it lasts a pretty fucking good long time to me. I'm gonna hop streams, but I enjoy my time here. I'm glad you do. Thank you, King Bugs, for the 5 gifted memberships. You know I appreciate that a ton. One of my biggest funders of this channel. Thank you a ton. It's mostly because when products are made cheaper, the stuff to make those products are made cheaper and break faster. Not China's fault. They can make nice stuff if American corporations wanted that. That's true. Well, also, like China went through a phase where it was making a lot of stuff that was like, would break quickly, not last. And there's still stuff like that, I'm sure, that you can get that's made in China. But I feel like most of the products that I've used or had experience with over the last 5 years that were made in Southeast Asia have been pretty high quality, as near as my layperson's opinion can tell. And it makes me think that they have gotten so good at manufacturing and learned all these lessons from making cheaper things that break faster, and the response from that versus like the long-term gains to be made from having a brand that establishes itself as making stuff that's good. I feel like they are cognizant of that in a way that American corporations have completely lost sight of. Quality can be made almost anywhere these days. I think I think you're right, King Bugs, and I think it's just a matter of where the incentives are, right? So, like an American manufacturer, just by the virtue of being an American manufacturer, doesn't have as much incentive to make like really fucking top of the line shit because there's this like pre-established cultural notion in people's heads that American manufactured means top quality product or high quality product, so they don't have to work as hard to make products that actually deserve um, that label. Whereas a lot of places in Southeast Asia are actually fighting against the exact opposite phenomenon, where they have been described as being the purveyors of bullshit for so long that they now have a big reputation to build up if they're to like become as dominant as American and Western European manufacturing used to be, and Canadian as well, in the global marketplace. America pretty much only makes foodstuffs. It was the last thing y'all made well, but I don't know if we'll ruin that actually. You understand, food is one of the great unifiers here. And in every era where people have said there's like really amazing food, there's also been complete dog shit. All you need to do is like learn a little bit about food history, which I've always been kind of fascinated with, to understand that. There's always been shitty, bad food around. There's always been people that are trying to um, feed the most amount of people they can while costing the least amount in terms of their like overhead. That can churn out some pretty shitty products, but it's always been like that. I'd rather buy an old tool that's been, let's see. The fuck? All right. I guess the moron mode has to be turned on, huh? That's fine. They're chimping out in the chat. How many accounts this person? Goddamn. Something tells me this is multiple people. Something tells me that's what you might call a coordinated raid. I don't give a fuck. It's fucking 3 in the morning and there's 15 people watching. What do I give a shit? Probably paid somebody to fuck with you? Yeah, possibly. Could be a bot farm. Somebody paid. Well, and I looked away for a minute. Oh, there were people coming in like doing F slur towers and some other shit. Anti-Semitic stuff. It was a host of different things. Do people really have nothing better to do? Not only do some people have nothing better to do, there are bot farms and places all over the world that are paid to do exactly what you just saw go down. Paid to do it. So not only do they not have anything better to do, it's literally their job. Doesn't that make you feel better about your participation on social media? Guys, I just had a brilliant idea, okay? Bear with me and hear me out. What are the ethical implications of starting up a bot farm here in America as a social experiment to see if we can make a specific narrative go viral? Well, that's what you saying you do it, Taylor, has given me inspiration. Because I don't know if there's actually anything illegal about that. I would have to look into it. Oof, that's so sad. Imagine being driven to that for money slash work. Well, people are fucking desperate as shit these days. A lot of the countries where these pot farms really prosper are places with people with lots of like technical skill in terms of being able to operate computers efficiently, and a desperate need for a job that pays better than whatever their dad did for a living. We're talking places like Bangladesh, Pakistan, fucking India, countries that are still on the come up, right? They're still fucking building their way out in the world. And There's a lot of desperate people there that can be taken advantage of easily by Western powers who have an interest in swaying the discourse one way or another. It is not out of malice on the part of the Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, or Indians that these bot farms exist. It is out of the contempt that Western politicians, lobbyists, and corporatists have for the population that resides here in the United States. And, to a somewhat lesser extent, Europe, Australia, parts of Africa, etc. Okay, something like the ending, what you have in mind? Well, what I mean is like literally, here's what I have pictured, right? I rent out a decently large multi-user office space. Basically just like a big conference room or something. Or some shit like that. Maybe a tiny little warehouse, I don't know. I figure out what would fit my needs and I rent that out for say an initial period of 3 months. Then I hire as many people as will fit in that building and like there's I guess gonna have to be some stipulations like maybe bring your own equipment. If I didn't have the money to do like just fund it all myself, there would definitely have to be like, hey, you got to be able to bring your own laptop or your own cell phone or something like that. Then pay those people for a period of like 3 months to farm a specific narrative, maybe three narratives, and see if just this little social experiment intended to fail and dissipate bot farm here in the United States could actually sway public opinion. Like, could it get even 10% of the United States population to think something or to talk about something? I don't know if that part is possible in America. You would need to pay people minimum wage, and I don't know if the bot farm would make enough for it to be profitable. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is if I was like, if I had the money, right, to do this, and I guess like if ultimately I could just go ahead and buy all the fucking. If I had the money to do it anyway, I could just buy all the PCs and equipment myself, and then at the end of the experiment, donate it to a local school district or something. But in fact, that might be the best way to do it. But ultimately, the idea would be, yeah, to pay those people to do it without the profitability being a factor. The whole point would be to learn. If I were actually to do this, I would like to get get a couple of PhD students in on it and have them like monitor and like set up the um what's the word I'm looking for here? I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but basically have them set up the parameters of the experiment. Well, see, I'm not saying that I would want to do this for something that would make me money. And I'm not even saying that the narrative that we would push would be something that would be necessarily like policy related. It could be something silly. Or maybe it could be policy related, but maybe it's something fucking really funny. Like, oh, I don't know. Pitch me something. I'm down. I'll go to war with you, Phoebe. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think I could get just with my audience. I think I could, like, do all the recruiting just with this channel and get 100 people together that could do. that could do that. 30, it's not exactly the biggest parameters ever, but 30 people for a control group, and then 30 people for narrative A, 30 people for narrative B for a period of like a month and a half, and then they, group A becomes group C, and then group B becomes group D. 4 narratives, 3 months, 100 people. I will also join up. See, I'm telling you. Well, that's what I'm saying. I can't do this shit right now, but if the channel gets big enough, or maybe I should just make a video talking about how I want to do this and talking about the legal justifications for it and everything. And maybe that could attract some like funding towards the project. I don't know. But if it's something I do, I will pay everybody that's involved in the project. Um, I think I could ask for volunteers, but I wouldn't get committed enough volunteers for what I'm looking for. I would have to pay people. And I'm sure that I could do a lot of it from like a work from home type deal. The problem there would be enforcement and, you know, the only type of supervisor capacity I've ever held is like in person brick and mortar shit. So I have no idea how that type of shit works if you work from home. I tell you this much: YouTube doesn't enforce anything on me in terms of scheduling, and you guys see where it leads me. Thank you, King Bugs, for the $10. I appreciate that a ton. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I work from home anyway, so I have the free time and we do it for free. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would want to pay people because I would want commitment. Honestly, like, all right, 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. This is the message. And the control group would literally just be people getting paid that amount of time, but for their regular social media usage. And they would report on their findings and give like a general description of the types of things they saw. And I don't know. Like I said, I would want to get in contact with some PhD students that were already like looking for some kind of opportunity like this to actually get some psychological insight as to how it should be best set up and what the parameters should be and how the information should be monitored and intaked and everything. But to me, it sounds like a really compelling idea that I bet I could get a lot of people on board with. I work from. Okay, I read that one already. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys have showed out tonight with the donos and with your time, even though there's not too many people watching right now. Love y'all. By the way, how's everyone feeling tonight? I'm feeling great. Honestly, I finally got paid. I was able to book my motel for my Missouri trip. Um, I was able to pay my bills for this month. I was able to pay off all my like Cash App bullshit. Um, Able to put a ton into savings, a little bit into the market because fuck it, you kind of have to ride the market if you want to progress up in your ability to continue having increasing purchasing power and shit. Um, and I've still got plenty basically. Um, I'm gonna be doing some upgrades here soon with the computer that I normally use to desktop stream. I'm gonna be getting some better RAM and some like a better CPU and stuff like that. And hopefully, all of these upgrades will cascade into further returns in the future. Would you play us a song, Phoebe? Well, since I got the Wi-Fi extender up and running, and I have my ability to um, look things up on my other phone back, yes, I will. I'm feeling good tonight. Ben token like Phoebe, nice. I have some suggesting thanks. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I did tell you I would play Such Great Heights, didn't I? Okay. I guess I owe you one. Hello, Matt. I think I've already paid for the Wi-Fi extender. You might be surprised, King Bugs. I didn't get the fanciest fucking thing they had in the store, but I did get one that I made damn show that if I put it in the right place, it would provide me access out here. Now, for some reason, it works perfectly fine with the iPhone, but it does not seem to want to work that well with my Samsung. I don't, or not my Samsung, but my Motorola. I don't know why. I don't get it. I'm not gonna look into it. I'm not gonna think about it. What I know is that I've managed to get it working with the fucking iPhone, and that's good enough for me. But it was 80 bucks. So for 80 bucks, I would damn show hope that it was all fucking operational and functional and working. Okay, Taylor, yeah, if you want to do that, go ahead. Get the guitar tuned up. Ow. Stable song? Okay. Yep, that one. I mean, oh man. You're giving me so many options. Is this tuning peg coming out of place? No, it's not. I'm just paranoid. So I have a friend's old backpacker Martin, and it's not really worth restoring because of how cheap they are, but it's worth restoring from a sentimental kind of standpoint. Because, like, I like to think that they would probably like to have that back if they could. But they left it with they left it with me basically, and I don't think they meant to. And I've been thinking about, like, if I have the money at some point, having a professional luthier or luthier, whatever they're called, um, like go through and repair that bitch while preserving all the personality. And I know it would cost like $1,000, but I kind of want to do it because me and that friend had a falling out, and I know I could hit their mom up and be like, "Hey, is it okay if I send this to you? And you can get it back to them whenever." I don't. Part of me feels like it's petty, and part of me feels like it's just like tying off loose ends and letting them know, "Hey, I don't hate you," you know? Whatever. It's not that I feel like I owe them that or anything. It's just like there's a certain part of me that feels like it would be the right thing to do, I guess. Remember when our songs were just like prayers, like gospel hymns that you called in the air. Come down, sweet reverence, unto my simple house and ring, and ring. like home. Hang out those ghosts on the Ohio. Ring like clear wedding bells. In the belly of the beast of a sword that fell. Never tell. Come to me, come clear on some sea. Watch the world spinning away like some machine. I've been crazy, couldn't you tell? Threw stones at the stars, but the whole sky fell. Now I'm covered up in strawberry up on the table. And I drink and I sing fast in the street. Oh, 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 oh. That tall grass grows high and brown, but I drag you straight in the muddy ground. And you send me back to where I roam. Well, I cursed and I cried, but now I know. Now I know. And I ran back to that holler again. The moon was just a sliver back then. And I ached in my heart like the Tin Man. When it came, no repeat, and it boiled that head rain. Oh, oh, oh. It's raining. Rain like silver, rain like hell. Turn me back toward that wild-haired gale. Ring like silver, ring like gold. Turn these diamonds straight back in the gold. Turn these diamonds straight back in the gold. Turn these diamonds straight back. Oh, oh, oh. Whee! One of the first, that was one of like the first 100 songs I learned, so it's got a special place in my heart for sure. Let's see here. I'm thinking it's a sign that the fractals in our eyes are mirror images, and when we can't stay on perfectly aligned, I have to speculate that God himself did make us into corresponding shapes like puzzle pieces from the clay. True, may seem like a stretch, but it's not that thoughts like this that catch my troubled head when you're away, when I am missing you to death. You out there on the road for several weeks of shows, and when you scan the radio, I hope this song will guide you home. Yes, they will see you swaying from such great heights. Come down, down, they'll say everything looks perfect from far away. Come down, down, they'll say. I tried my best to leave this all in your machine, but that persistent beat, it sounded then upon ascending. That frankly will not fly. You'll hear the shrillest highs and lowest lows with the windows down when this is guiding you. They will see us waiting from such great heights. Come down, down, they'll say. Everything looks perfect from far away. Come down, now we'll stay. Whee! You got two, Taylor. You got two. You got two. Phoebe has good thumb work for a guitarist. Really? I do? That's good. You know what? I do, and maybe that's abnormal, but I gotta say, it's one of those things I never really noticed a lot of other guitar like I don't know. I saw, I guess, like City and Color doing it, and I've seen a few other musicians doing it, but it seems to be like pretty rare to incorporate that in there. And you know, I don't know if you're talking about fretting or um strumming, but whatever. I know. I don't know. Don't take your guns to town. No, I'm trying to think here. Alrighty, I think I figured it out. I hope Taylor is actually still around. It would suck if she missed these songs after requesting them, you know. That would be trepidatious indeed. No, I can't play harmonica. I'm sure I could figure it out if I fucked around with it. No, you're fine, Taylor. I was just making sure. I just hadn't seen you in the chat in a while and I was getting worried. But I was about to play one. I don't know if you've heard me play before. Because I don't think I had figured out a way to play it um like rhythm way back when. Yeah, no, I can't do the harmonics. All right. Heart and soul, never mind who own what you care to die for, what you care to die for. We'll die alone, well I'll die young. What you care to die for, what you care to die for. Snow whiskey on the ledge, whiskey on the bed. Shake it out, light a cigarette. Miss me when you wish you weren't right. Shake me all out if I'm wrong. For you. Shake it all out when I'm gone. You. Is the devil so bad if he cries in his sleep while the earth burns? His kids learn to say, fuck you, they don't love you. Is the devil get scared if she dies in her dreams while the earth burns? She cries 'cause she's nothing like you, ain't shit like you. Do you want from a devil like me, devil like me? See, the devil don't mean to be evil. He just regrettably forgets to exceed expectations. Oh, Trump in your head, little bit of lead. Shake it out and light a silhouette. Wish you when you wish you weren't kind of glad. Shake me all out when you're down for you. Shake it all out when I'm gone. I, you, don't so bad if he cries in his sleep while the earth turns. He gets guzzled. His kids learn to say, fuck you, they don't love you. Ooh, ooh. Does the devil get scared if she dies in her dreams while the earth burns? She cries 'cause she's nothing like you, ain't shit like you. Do you want from a devil like me? Am I like you? Ooh, ooh. Wee! Yeah, that was Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Uh, Devil Like Me. Yep. Classic. Classic. Truly classic. Yeah. I guess I should probably get off here pretty soon. I appreciate anyone that can appreciate music. I've got a deep appreciation for music. I could totally jam with Phoebe. That would be fun, King Bugs. That'd be very fun. Well, I think I played all the ones that Taylor suggested. If I missed any, then my bad, but that was a good 3. Yeah, I'd say for a stream of such repute, that's a pretty good number to land on. Music's good for the brain. It helps people with Alzheimer's hold on longer. That's crazy. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my child, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. When I was a child, my family would travel on down the Green River where paradise lay. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backwards old town that's often remembered so many times that my memories are worn. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my child, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. Well, sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Adrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we shoot with our pistols. But empty pop bottles was all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my child, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovel, and they tortured the timber, stripped all the land. Well, they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my child, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes flow down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my child, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train is hauled it away. Hmm. Come listen, young fellers, so young and so fine. Don't you seek out your fortune in that dark, dreary mind. It'll form as a habit and seep in your soul till the stream of your blood runs as black as the coal. It's dark as the dungeon and damp as the dew, where danger is double and pleasures a few, where the rain never falls, the sun never shines, and it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mines. 'Tis me, 'tis many a man I have known in my day who has lived all his young life to labor away. Let me see here. Well, it's many a man I've seen in my day like a fiend. What's going on? Okay, hold on. This is not a good one. Okay. Well, it's many a man that I've known in my day who lived just to labor his whole life away, like a fiend with his dope or a drunkard his wine. A man will have lust for the lure of the mind, where it's dark as a dungeon and damp as the dew, where the dangers are double and the pleasures are few, where the rain never falls, the sun never shines, and it's dark as a dungeon way down in the mines. Well, I hope when I'm gone. Alrighty. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here because I gotta go. But I'll see you guys later. Thanks for showing up. Bye.